This video is brought to you by Storyblocks. There's something kind of funny about GoPro. For a long time, you pretty much knew what a GoPro was supposed to be. It was the camera you mount, throw around, take into rough conditions, and trust to get the shot. But this new GoPro Mission thing feels a little different. It still looks like a GoPro. It still has that rugged, compact, take it anywhere energy. But when you look at what they're actually trying to do here, it feels less like a routine update and more like GoPro trying to make a statement. This feels like them saying, what if an action camera could be taken seriously in more situations than just action? And honestly, that's what makes this interesting to me. When I first looked at what GoPro was saying through the Mission series, the thing that stood out right away is that it wasn't just about making the camera a little sharper or faster. They're building this around a new 1-inch sensor, pushing 8K capture, leaning into better low-light performance, longer run times, more advanced color controls, and even more serious audio options. That's a very different conversation than just, here's the next one. It sounds more like GoPro trying to move into this weird space between action camera, creator camera, and compact cinema camera system. And I think the biggest shift here is the sensor. GoPro says Mission is built around a one-type sensor, which is larger than cameras like the DJI Osmo Action 6 and Insta360 Ace Pro 2. And it matters because for a long time, action cameras have always had this lens they hid. They're convenient when you need something small, but when light starts dropping, or once you want something that feels a little more refined, you start feeling the limits. So, when GoPro makes a sensor the headlight, that tells me they know exactly what people have been wanting more of. The other part that feels really aimed at creators is the flexibility. GoPro says Mission supports 8K open gate in a 4x3 full frame format. And that gives you a lot more room for cropping and reframing later. You may shoot once and need horizontal for YouTube, vertical for social, thumbnail, or maybe even a still you want to use somewhere else. So having that extra room there, it matters. Not because 8K is magic by itself, but because flexibility matters. That to me is where Mission starts to make sense. Low light, real world interest. The low light story is probably one of the biggest reasons I'm paying attention. GoPro's saying this delivers their best dynamic range and least noise yet. When they're tying that to the 1-inch sensor and dual gate HDR readout, that's pretty cool. Now obviously, marketing language is marketing language. You still have to get out and see how a camera really behaves. But on paper, this is exactly the part of the GoPro experience that needed the most love. Because the dream of a GoPro was always that it could come with you. In the car, on a walk, in bad weather, at night, in moments that aren't perfectly controlled. So if Mission actually moves the needle there, that's a bigger deal than just another bump in resolution. And that actually ties into editing too, because once you shot all this stuff, the next part is figuring out how to shape it into something that feels complete. Honestly, one of the things that can slow video down the most isn't even the edit itself. It's the searching, looking for the right clip, the right piece that helps connect one moment to the next. That's why Storyblocks has been really useful in my workflow. It's human-made stock media library with footage, templates, and images all in one place. So I'm not bouncing between a bunch of different sites trying to piece things together. It just makes the whole process feel a lot more focused. What I like here is that the assets are made by real filmmakers and artists. And that matters because it helps the final video feel more intentional and less generic. When I need something to support the story, fill a gap, or add a little more texture to an edit, I can usually find it pretty quickly. And for creators who are publishing regularly, that speed matters. The easier it is to find good footage or motion elements, the easier it is to stay in the flow and actually finish the video. It also helps that everything is royalty-free and cleared for personal, commercial, and monetized work. So you can spend less time second-guessing usage and more time actually making the thing. To start telling better stories with the tools that we use, head to storyblocks.com/RogerSane. They're also offering a limited time discount for my audience, only available through my link. And thanks again to Storyblocks for sponsoring this video. Another thing I think is easy to overlook until it ruins your day is runtime. GoPro says the Mission 1 series gets over 5 hours of 1080p and 3+ hours of 4K 30. And they're tying that to the new GP3 processor, an updated Enduro 2 battery, and the runtime table in the guide also shows some pretty substantial numbers depending on modes. And this is one of those features that doesn't sound exciting in the headlines, but it changes how relaxed you feel while using a camera. If the camera gives you great footage, but you're always thinking about heat or battery, or whether it's going to tap out, you never fully trust it. So if Mission is genuinely more dependable for longer shoots, longer walks, longer days out, that matters a lot. And then there's the part that still feels very GoPro, which is the slow-mo. They're claiming up to a 4K 240 continuous, which is honestly ridiculous in the way that action camera specs are supposed to be ridiculous. And I think that's important because even though GoPro's feeling like they're moving a little more serious here, I still want them to feel fun, playful, and a little overkill sometimes. That's part of the appeal. So, who's this for? What's interesting is the lineup itself kind of tells you who it's for. The standard Mission 1 is like the accessible version. Look at the new 1-inch sensor, up to 8K 30, 4K 120, 50 megapixel photos, HDR, hypersmooth, GP log, all that. Then Mission 1 Pro pushes that up to 8K 60, a little more advanced slow motion options, while keeping the same general body language. And then the one that really makes you want to stop is the Mission 1 Pro ILS, because that adds in the integrated micro four thirds mount, which means interchangeable lenses. GoPro says it's compatible with over 300 MFP lenses. And that one feels like the clearest sign that this isn't just about replacing a hero camera, it's GoPro pushing into a totally different headspace. There's also a bunch of smaller things that makes us feel more creator focused. GoPro's talking about 10-bit color, GP log, HLG, a timecode sync, and higher bitrate recording up to 240 with even more available on GoPro Labs. It's not casual action camera language. That's the kind of stuff people care about when they want more control in post, when they want to match cameras, or when they want a smaller camera to fit into a more serious workflow. Same thing with audio. They're calling out 4 microphones, 32-bit float, Bluetooth mic support, USB-C audio support, and a media mod that adds more serious I/O. So the bigger picture here isn't just image quality, it's that they're trying to make this feel more useful in more kinds of productions. I think that's really the core of why Mission stands out to me. Not because it suddenly replaces every other camera, not because every spec on a page automatically matters in real life, but because this feels like one of the first times in a while where GoPro seems like it's trying to rethink what a GoPro can be. Not just a helmet cam, not just a tiny vacation camera, not just something you buy because it's durable, but something that might actually fit into a broader creator workflow in a more serious way. And that's way more interesting than just here's the next one. So my first impression of GoPro Mission is this. It feels like GoPro's Abe higher. The 1A sensor route, the low light frames matter, open gate matters, better runtime matters, the audio and pro controls matter, and the fact that they're stretching this into a whole system, not just one camera, tells you they're thinking bigger than they used to. Now the real question now is whether that all comes together in a way that actually feels great to use. Because that's always the difference. Specs can get attention, but experience is what makes the camera stick. And honestly, that's the part I'm most curious about. I'd love to know what you think. Does GoPro Mission actually feel interesting to you? Or does it still feel like an action camera trying to be something else? And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Later. Also special shout out to Abe Kislev. He's the legend at GoPro. The one that I've been influenced by for a long time of his insane camera quality and his insane camera edits. Thank you, Abe, for giving me the intro to GoPro and the GoPro Mission 1. I can't wait to get it in my hands to try it out.